Imagine waking up on a Tuesday morning in 1922. The Great War is a fading memory, and the United States is entering its main character era. In every city, the rhythm of jackhammers provides
But behind the neon lights of New York and the speakeasies of Chicago, the first structural fractures are appearing.
Factories have
in the heartland, farmers who thrived on wartime food demand are now staring down a catastrophic collapse in commodity prices. They took out massive loans to buy modern machinery, but those shiny tractors didn't save them. They only accelerated their bankruptcy. Meanwhile, in the urban centers, a new financial monster is born: consumer credit. Buy now, pay later becomes the national mantra. People are financing radios and cars through installment plans, but the real danger lies in the infinite money glitch of the era. People are buying stocks with money they don't actually have.
A singular dream of eternal prosperity. But behind the neon lights of New York and the speakeasies of Chicago, the first structural fractures are appearing. In the heartland, farmers who thrived on wartime food demand are now staring down a catastrophic collapse in commodity prices. They took out massive loans to buy modern machinery, but those shiny tractors didn't save them. They only accelerated their bankruptcy. Meanwhile, in the urban centers, a new financial monster is born: consumer credit. Buy now, pay later becomes the national mantra. People are financing radios and cars through installment plans, but the real danger lies in the infinite money glitch of the era. People are buying stocks with money they don't actually have. The stock market of the 1920s feels like a giant theme park for adults. Through the mechanism of buying on margin, you only need $10 to control $100 worth of equities. The other $90? The bank covers it. Everyone is high on the supply of stocks only go up. The speculative mania hits a fever pitch when even barbers, mail carriers, and shoeshine boys are handing out alpha and investment tips. From 1924 to 1929, the Dow Jones Industrial Average quadruples. Stock prices are no longer tethered to actual corporate earnings. They are fueled by pure sentiment and delusional expectations. For the first time in history, the middle class feels entitled to wealth. Electricity illuminates the cities. The radio brings the world into the living room, and high-end appliances promise a life of unprecedented convenience. Henry Ford wasn't just selling cars, he was selling the dream of upward mobility. But beneath the champagne-soaked parties, a ghost is haunting the balance sheets: debt. To afford these luxuries, Americans have leveraged themselves to the hilt. But no loan is as toxic as a Wall Street margin loan. By late 1929, the stock market has ceased to be a venue for value investing. It's a high-stakes casino. With buying on margin, investors think, if the stock goes up, I'm rich. If it goes down, well, why would it go down? In the summer of 1929, industrial production begins to cool. People have already bought their one car and one fridge. Inventories are piling up. The smart money begins to quietly exit their positions. October 24th, Black Thursday. The first tremors hit. Prices crater in the morning. Suddenly, the phones of retail investors ring with the sound of pure terror. It's the margin call. You need to deposit more cash right now, or we are liquidating your entire portfolio to recover the debt. With no cash on hand, millions of sell orders are dumped simultaneously for forced liquidation. This massive selling pressure drives prices into the floor. The big banks try to provide a liquidity injection by buying up shares, but it's like throwing a glass of water at a forest fire. October 29th, Black Tuesday. The illusion officially shatters. 16 million shares are panic sold in a single day. There are no buyers, there is no hope. In just a few hours, $14 billion in wealth evaporates. The millionaires of yesterday are standing on office balconies, looking at the pavement with terminal intent. The American economic ship didn't just hit an iceberg, the engine room exploded from within. The Wall Street crash was just the opening act. When people lose their life savings in the market, they default on their bank loans. When banks can't collect on loans, they collapse. Panic spreads like a contagion. People sprint to the banks to withdraw their savings, hard-earned cash that had nothing to do with stocks. But the banks had used that money to fund those margin loans. The bank doors slam shut in the faces of weeping men. The entire financial plumbing of the United States is paralyzed. By 1932, 25% of the American workforce is unemployed. In Detroit, the heart of industry, that number is 50%. No wages, no food, no homes. Cardboard shantytowns spring up on the edges of major cities. They call them Hoovervilles, named after President Herbert Hoover, who is blamed for leaving the people to rot in their hour of need. When humans hit rock bottom, nature decides to kick them while they're down. A prolonged drought, combined with poor farming techniques, turns the Great Plains into a giant pit of dust, the Dust Bowl. Black blizzards of topsoil blot out the sun, bury houses, and suffocate livestock. Millions of Okies and farmers are forced to migrate toward California, hoping for work, but finding only hostility and extreme poverty. The 1930s, America is no longer the land of opportunity. It's the land of survival. March 1933. Franklin Delano Roosevelt takes office during the darkest hour. He brings a new philosophy, the New Deal. The government is no longer a bystander. Franklin Delano Roosevelt establishes relief agencies, creating jobs for millions, from building hydroelectric dams and roads to planting forests. For the first time, Americans have Social Security. For the first time, bank deposits are protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Roosevelt uses the radio for his fireside chats, speaking directly into the living rooms of the nation to rebuild morale. He isn't just repairing the economy, he's performing surgery on a broken national soul.